Hi everyone. How are you doing today? It is Thursday, November 21st. It's about 9:21 a.m. here on the East Coast, so 10 minutes before U.S. equity markets open. This is Lee McMahon. I'm a strategist at globalfxclub.com. Here today to talk to you about the Aussie and what I see as the potential for a major Australian dollar liquidation over the next maybe week to 2 weeks. So we're going to talk about the Aussie and why I think it may be heading lower. So please take a moment to read over the risk disclaimer. It should now be on your screen. Then we'll get started. Okay, so we've had a strong move lower by the Australian dollar here. This is Aussie dollar futures. Okay, so the entire currency, you'll see it closely mirrors Aussie dollar because that's where the majority of the liquidity comes from. But it's a little bit different. So what we can see here is that the Australian dollar has sold off very hard since it hit its 94.32 or so, 94.30 or so peak. We are now actually below these recent lows, and we're looking to push lower. A couple things to I think worth noting from a fib perspective here on Aussie dollar futures. Okay, that was a reversal off a 6.18% fib, a small 6.18% fib, and this was a perfect reversal of a 38.2% fib, which tends to be the continuation fib. We are also working here on a broader perspective off a very nice 50% rejection. All right, you can see we briefly got above it, but on a daily time frame, we didn't close above it, and we've had it consistently lower. Let's check that out. Okay, you can see twice we held just under that 50% fib, and we are looking to push lower. All right, so this move seems to have already started, but I'm expecting I think there's a distinct possibility. I don't want to go so far as to say I'm expecting. I think there's a distinct possibility that we could head down to these previous lows at about 88.23. What makes me think that, aside from the Aussie dollar move, is look at these Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie candles. Okay, so first of all, if we want to call this a flag, which I think we can, it's a fairly sloppy one if you get down on the smaller time frames, but I think on the daily time frame you kind of see the point I was going for here. If we do the measured move, all right, for this flag, that takes us above 147. We're already well above this resistance level here. Depending, of course, on the daily close, we could really use this move here as a breakout to head up towards these 150 levels. If we look at Pound Aussie, kind of a similar deal, okay? Pound Aussie, actually, I think I've looked at this fairly recently. Pound Aussie on the weekly chart, it is one of the most bullish looking currencies out there, especially now. Okay, that's what we're breaking here on Pound Aussie. This is a massive move, and if that is indeed a flag, it's a sort of a small flag for the size of the flag, or for the size of the move up. I mean, that's 196. That's 2,200 pips above. And if we also, consider the way that this has occurred, we broke above this 200 period EMA. We used it as a launching point once. All right, we came back down, and now we're using it as a launching point again. We have a 50 crossing over a 100, and we're above the 200, both those EMAs approaching that key level. So another, this looks like a potential monster mover here. You can see this is what we're breaking on the 4-hour chart when I draw it out. It actually draws pretty nicely considering I drew it initially on a weekly chart. This actually still plays out very nicely here on a 4-hour chart. So we have a test here, and a test here. So 3 tests and a clean break. So Pound Aussie looks really, really poised to just rocket higher here. Some other Aussie crosses worth looking at. Aussie CAD is actually approaching support right now. But similar to Aussie dollar, if we pop up the fibs, okay, this one not as clear. You can see we did manage to get above that 50% fib, but we're still well capped by that 618, and now we're maybe continuing, maybe resuming this downtrend. This channel will have to hold for bulls to have a shot here on Aussie CAD. Right now, you can still make a bull flag argument, but with the way that the Aussie is looking across the board, I would be hesitant to do so. Aussie Swiss breaking down to new lows below 85. 84 is the next major support there. Even Aussie yen, all right, is slightly lower on the day, down 0.15%, which is impressive considering that dollar yen is up nearly 1%, and dollar yen tends to drag those yen pairs higher. So you can really see that the Australian dollar, these green levels are gap zones. We're trying to fill the first gap here. The second one is right around 89. So that is the next major area I would expect this pair to test over the next couple weeks here, Aussie dollar. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. I really feel like we may be in for an extraordinarily strong Aussie dollar move to the downside. I have to say that my preferences are definitely Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie. I mean, Pound Aussie is far and away my favorite. Right now, the problem with Pound Aussie, we're at 174.45. The ideal stop would be about 172.40. So that's about a 200 pip stop. That's too wide for most people. It's too wide for me. So I will be looking for a move back down towards 173 on a potential retracement to buy, all right, somewhere around this level. Or I will be looking for some sort of consolidation here after the breakout, which would probably be my preferred. I really think that these pairs could start to squeeze aggressively higher over the coming days. All right, so that's what I'm looking at here. Keep your eye on the Aussie dollar, especially Pound Aussie and Euro Aussie. You will avoid some of the dollar shenanigans with taper and all of that by just trading these crosses. All right, so I hope that's helpful. Good luck trading the rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon.